10 on 10 over 10, where we keep it absolutely real. There are some things that we need to talk about, and this is where we come to keep it real. Today, I told you we're going to be talking about this thing called abstinence, and whether in 2016 it is fact or fiction. We've got Willis Raburu joining us this week on our panel. Yeah, give it up for Willis. Pastor Willis.
Yeah,
and of course I'm going to have our other two panelists introduce themselves, starting with the lady.
I'm Margaret Mwara. I'm a student at Karere University.
Okay, welcome to the show. This young man has been here before, but welcome back.
Thanks, Joy. Once again, I'm Kev. Good to see you.
Good to have you here.
All right.
So, okay, so let's get into this, man. Sex before marriage. There are still some people who hang on to those beliefs that is not something that you should do, that you should keep yourself pure, that you should abstain, and that's the only way to go if you want to, stay safe from diseases, unwanted pregnancies, and all the other things that come with having sex before marriage. So we're going to start with you, Kev. Does abstinence exist in this day and age, or is that something we've left behind?
One answer, no.
It
doesn't exist nowadays. It did exist before, but again, everything has changed. Time has changed. Telling a teenager right now, abstain, doesn't work. And before we used to have this sex education, and I fault that sex education. They told us, don't have sex. People still do. Like Jesus, I'll say one thing. He who has no sin, cast the first stone. He who has not done it till now, please.
Shall we take see what the audience thinks about this? How many people? No, hand clap. How many people think that you can still be abstinent in 2016 at the age that you are? Clap your hands. Okay, and how many people think it's not possible to be abstinent in this day and age? I don't know. We have people on both sides. Let's hand it over to the lady.
Personally, I don't think it's possible because one thing, okay, let's say, for me, I'm abstaining. What's the need of abstaining? If you keep one day I'm going to lose it. What's the need?
Alright, this is what I think. This is what I think. Because, yes, we're in the 21st century. However, as much as it is a personal decision, there are people who tell you, for example, when I was coming up, I was told, if you have sex, you will die.
Yes.
Right? So that's the notion that you grew up with. But then, of course, if you do it and you don't know, you're like, wait a minute, let's check it out.
I haven't died.
Let's keep on doing it. However, it depends on the belief system. If you're a Christian, then you have to wait until marriage.
Yeah.
You have to abstain. Abstain or get a stain. So, but like he said, I really think it's still possible, as much as it's a rare thing. There are still a few people.
Yeah, exactly. Because if it's a rare thing, don't you think that it's more admirable?
But Bentleys are rare, but people are still making them. Rolls Royce are rare, are still making them. BMW i8 was rare until Kev Muley bought one.
Yeah.
But you
have to pay a lot of money for those rare things.
Exactly. Also keeping it together and keeping the zip up and the skirt up. You'll also have to pay a little bit more, But the price is, as one of our colleagues actually said, is ikiwa hapo kwa ndoa itakuwa fresh.
Exactly. Thoughts on that?
Willis is on the fence once again.
I'm not on the fence. I think you can actually abstain.
You think you can?
Yes.
Do you think it's wrong not to?
Well, because I'm a Christian, yes.
Yes, you think there's so many angles you can argue this from here. Willis took it from the Bible. It doesn't cut it for me. Is it?
So where do you take it from?
Is it, Willis, let me ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
Does the Bible says don't commit sin? Are you sinless?
No.
you commit sin.
Yeah.
So why are we being subjective in applying our spiritual views? If you do commit sin and expect God will forgive you,
but it also says, now that you're talking about the Bible, now be careful, son, because I know me some Bible.
This is faster.
The Bible also says, now that we have received grace, should we sin more? And the answer is no. The same reason if I say, okay, it says if you jump off the cliff, you'll die. Do you now still jump off the cliff? Like, woohoo, let's jump! That's because it's fun. So you can argue it both ways. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's still possible. Those people exist who keep themselves until...
I mean, let's move on to the lady. What do you have to say about that?
In the biblical view, personally, I say it's a sin like any other. So if you're stealing and I'm not abstaining, let's say I'm having sex and I'm not married, God will still forgive me the same way He'll forgive you. So abstain is sin.
No doubt He'll forgive you, but the thing is, just because there is forgiveness,
doesn't mean that you should. And Nami, back to you here on this. As a young woman, there's a way we value ourselves, right? And there's a way that purity is more valued. A guy wants a chick who he knows, this is my woman, and hasn't been with 1 through 26. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm just... hasn't been around town. What are your views about that? Because if you are sexually active, chances are you're going to move on from this man to the next boyfriend, to the next whatever, and then your numbers are just growing. And how do you feel your value as a woman is affected?
It's not affected. Because the same way as a man, I think if... Now, as in, when a girl has sex with many dudes, it's a sin. But when a dude has sex with many girls, they don't consider it as in an offense. Personally, I think it should be the same. If a guy expects me to be loyal to him, he also should be loyal. So I don't think as in that's...
What if you were dating someone and he said, I'm a virgin, I've never had sex, and I want us to stay this way until we get married? Would you go along with that plan?
No. No way. Okay, we are human. There's no one expect as in nakuwa napo and hakuna kitu na feel. So
what about you, Kevin? You're dating a woman, she's a virgin, she wants to stay pure until marriage because of her beliefs. Is that a deal breaker?
As you said, it's love, yeah? In love, I believe we both have to take sacrifices. Not necessarily I should take the sacrifice. So I think we should come to a middle ground. You want it? I mean, you don't want it, I want it. We all have to compromise. And we have to meet somewhere.
Where?
Apple place you could meet.
Yeah, you want
the apple?
I mean, Joy. Let's be real here, yeah? As you say, 10 over 10, we keep it real.
No, we do keep it real.
We do keep it real. It's lust that leads to love. I first see you. Damn! You're well dressed. I like your hair. That's lust. I don't love you yet. I take you out for a drink. I drop you home, maybe. Or I go with you, Next day I take you for a drink. Lust then leads to love. I don't love it. And the reason I believe we should experiment before we get married is, and please don't get me wrong, I respect LGBT rights, but some people will wait till marriage, then discover, oh, I think I'm gay. So, I mean, that kills the marriage. You automatically go against the word of the Lord, Willis.
Yeah, man.
You've broken a marriage, which you could have prevented before. So why don't you do it? Discover yourself.
No, but wait.
Sex is the fountain of the youth.
No, the way you're arguing again is both sides. Because you said that you discover your sexual orientation. At that point, then you've broken a marriage and broken the law of the Lord. But still, after Manzoni, Utako may break. Let me give an example about that, what you said about men and the several occupancies. And it's an example that was given to me when I was coming up, right? So if you dig 7 holes, my dad told me, dig 7 holes, pour water and stir them. So you start with one stick, all the holes, you pour the water in the 7 holes and you dig them. And then he told me, look at the stick. So I look at the stick and he told me, how does the stick look like? It was dirty. Then he said, if you dip your stick in many holes, it will be dirty. So I think, like you say, let's keep it real, it happens. Right now, the issue of abstinence is not something that is
People
in fashion,
feel, yeah, people feel like it's not.
They
it's
feel
not
like, you know,
cool.
gari tunapelekanga hapo
Test
una test
drive.
drive. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's not something that you can inculcate. And I mean, even if you aren't doing it and you're still going towards marriage and you have maybe 6 or 7 months, you can still,
you know, Willis.
You can still change.
Willis.
It's all I'm trying to say.
Willis. I don't entirely disagree with you.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I agree with you, by the way.
Okay, all right.
But speaking of analogies, I said I'll take you head to head, yeah? Speaking of analogies, there's this girl in the United States, and this studies prove it. It's not like giving you a full story, yeah? So this girl was abducted when she was 14, was locked up for 9 months, was repeatedly raped, and then I think after 9 months managed to escape. So this chick went to campus and attended this sex education class. And there was this chewing gum analogy, and the lecturer was, you're a girl, you're like a chewing gum. So you cheat once, you cannot rechew your chewing gum. So every time you have sex, it's like you're chewing that. Every single time you're having sex, it's like you're chewing that chewing gum. So how many times have you had sex? 10. You've rechewed your chewing gum 10 times. This girl was repeatedly raped for 9 months. I mean, it's time we destigmatize. This chick went and committed suicide. Why? Because she didn't even have sex. She was repeatedly raped.
That's a whole different issue, though.
Yeah.
That's a whole different issue.
Hold it. Here's the thing. People are raped. Yeah? There are these couple who believe in the Lord. Yeah? They do everything by the book of the Lord, but fall into temptation. Yeah? Before marriage, and they have sex.
Yeah.
Do you think they've committed a sin?
They have committed a sin, but of course they still forgiveness for that. But the thing is, do not use that as an excuse. That,
I mean, here's the thing, right? And I always do this during every discussion, is we look at the pros and cons. What are some of the positive things that we can associate with abstaining? 1, you're not going to get the diseases. You're not going to get pregnant if you don't want to. You're not going to have sex with people that you didn't mean to have sex with. You know, you're going to be more clear-minded in your thinking. So there is, you know, there are positives to this. You got to admit that.
There are positive things, yes. But the thing is, let's say, like for me, I'm a lady, and let's say I have a dude. The thing is, if I abstain, okay, and my husband, obviously the guy that I have right now will not be my husband. My husband is out there with other people. Yes.
Is he here? Is it you? Single. That has changed.
Huyo mtu mwenye ameambiwa hivyo, pole sana.
In my earlier maisha. You were saying?
Okay, my husband is out there with other girls. Obvious, mwenye uko naye sahi, we just is as in kwa bwanako, it's just for fun. And yeah, kupata experience, because if you get because utaolewa na huna experience, don't know anything. So you see, that's why you're supposed to.
So for you, it's about experience.
Yeah, experience, and also getting revenge, because bwanangu pia ako na mtu mwingine.
Bwanako sasa unaona ako na mtu mwingine.
Yeah, obvious, it's obvious.
Tell you what.
Okay,
so,
let's get some final comments on this.
Before we end up, yeah? As you said, we need to look at the positives of abstinence. Now let's look at the positives of not abstaining. 1, your hair glows. Research shows that youth who have sex tend to live longer. Whenever you make love, by there's a love. No. I'm willing to put it.
Research said.
That research is
like I said.
Show us.
Willis Joy.
Show us the research.
Like I said, I'm willing to take on the two of you, head to head. We can argue this thing biblically. We can argue this thing scientifically. We can argue this thing realistically. You name it. I'm willing to take you on. So anyway, let's look at this. 1, you discover your sexuality. 2, you tend to live longer because you produce a love. I can't remember the biological word, but there's something you produce that makes your skin firmer and your hair glows. Look at it. What else do you need to know, Joy? I mean, this thing is happening. It's going to happen. I think it's about time we need to change our sex education in school. We don't need to tell people don't have sex. I think we are all adults. We need to give people a choice.
But we
Yeah, don't tell someone, don't do it.
We
Give me a
need
choice.
to be better educated. I agree with you on that.
You agree with me on that?
Yeah.
So there's the thing. Give someone a choice. We are all adults. I think everyone in this room is above 18, and even those who are not below 18 is just a number. Even a 14-year-old is someone with a brain. Give the child both sides of the divine. Yeah.
Story.
Let the child make the choice.
I got you. Final comments from you?
Okay, for me, I tend to agree with him. It's a matter of choice. Because there's this person who believes I must abstain, and this other one who has the view like the one that I have, that it's not a must abstain. So it's a personal choice.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Of course I do.
Now.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I do. Okay, even if it's over, I'll get another one.
Even if it's over, he should get another one.
Yeah, I'll get another one.
I tell you what.
Hold on, you guys. Hold on. We're going to have Willis have the final comment on this discussion, please.
Okay, this is my final comment. The thing is, like I said at the onset of the discussion, yes, it's happening. Yes, it seems like the in thing to do, but you can still stand out to be different. It is indeed a matter of choice, but you can still either choose to go and buy a second-hand Volkswagen or a brand new Rolls Royce. And but at the end of the day, the choice is yours.
The choice is yours, and you shouldn't feel bad for making whatever choices is that you're making, as long as you're making it responsibly. So that means that the people who are having sex shouldn't look down on those who aren't. It is a personal choice at the end of the day, if you can reason it out for yourself. We don't tell you what to do on this show.
Yeah, man.
We provide both sides, and you make the final decision. Stay tuned here to 10 over 10. We've got much more coming up on the show next.